What if I told you that just one thing could change your life forever? What's up, Unbroken Nation? Hope that you're doing well wherever you are in the world today. I was thinking about this today as I was getting ready to record today's episode. I was thinking about if I could give you one thing only, only that would change your life, literally today, right now in this moment, what would it be? And as I sat in it and I thought about it deeply, it occurred to me that when I was 27 years old, I had no confidence. I did not believe in myself. Even though I'd been starting this healing journey, I was still smoking cigarettes. I was still drinking too much. I was still not working out as much as I could. And it was through discipline that my life began to change. So if I could give you one thing today, one thing very simply that would change your life, I would give you discipline. And discipline, especially I think in the mental health and trauma scope, can often have a negative connotation because like to me in my brain, in my mind, discipline felt like a pain word, a word of suffering, a word of hurt, a word of loss, a word of anguish. Because growing up, you hear you'll be disciplined, you'll be punished, you'll be hurt if you don't execute in a certain way. But as I got deeper into this journey, I realized and very much like you hear so many people who have found success in their life, whether that be, Jocko Willink or Tom Bilyeu or Anna Lamke, all these people, they point towards discipline as being the singular factor between success and failure in their life. And discipline is about this. It's about, can you show up today in doing the difficult things that you need to do that will in turn help transpire and create the life that you want to have. And for so many of us, discipline, it's not even necessarily about like waking up at 5 a.m. Like you don't have to wake up at 5 a.m. If you want to wake up at 11, wake up at 11. But can you do that with consistency? Can you have discipline in that? Can you have the discipline to hold yourself accountable to being the person that you need to be? And I know I've had this conversation with you before, but the reason I'm having it again is because even in my own life, I'm looking at and navigating discipline at scale now. Like, how do I get to the point that discipline becomes autonomic? And that's what I'm hedging into right now is, can you create discipline in your life in a way that the things that you need to do become automatic, where you don't even have to think about it, where it's a part of your journey no matter what, every single day, 365 days, every single day of the year, and 66 on the leap year. Because I know somebody's going to be like, what about leap year? And so, yes, on leap year too. But more so, giving yourself the permission to find success through your choices, decisions, and actions. There's so much effort and energy required in not living your life. And you've probably heard me say this before. It takes as much energy to destroy your life as it does to build your life. And if you can apply that energy into doing the things that project you forward, the thing that will happen is that on a long enough timeline, if you do this with consistency, you will see your life be different. And then you will sit in this room of your existence in real time and recognize a very inherent truth that you have become the person you're capable of being. And when you recognize that you have become the person that you're capable of being, this really fascinating thing will happen. You will start to wonder who else you could become. And that's kind of the place that I'm in my life right now, is looking at it, this measurement and going, okay, I've become this person, this idea of Michael and who he can be. And in that, I sit in it and I'm very happy with it. And I have a lot of joy about it. But I also have come to this really profound truth of recognizing that that's not enough. Not that I'm not good enough, let's be very clear, but that the person that I am today is not enough yet, because I need to continue to create the life that I want to have by deploying massive amounts of discipline into a new level of activity, a new level of action, a new level of thought process, a new level of education, a new level of workmanship, a new level of spirituality, mentally, emotionally, physically, all the things. And so in that, I've been sitting and thinking about, okay, if the discipline I've had has got me to where I am, then what is the discipline that I need to get me to where I want to go? And so I'm sitting in that deeply. And I believe this very much, that this will change your life if you leverage it. If you really step and tap into discipline in the way that I'm laying out for you right now, it'll change your life. Why? Because you've only been able to get to where you are by doing what you're doing. Now, look, if you're happy, and I've said this before, great, then you've already won. There's nothing else to change. But if you're not, then you have to be willing to change and to step into this at an even deeper scope. Because it is only through that that you're truly going to discover what you're capable of doing. And the level of discipline involved becomes so much more important. You know, think about Olympic athletes who are champions, who win gold medal. They all point to discipline. Think about the business professionals who are incredibly successful. They all deploy discipline. I mean, even this show, 365 episodes this year, discipline. It's the sitting down, it's the doing it, it's the showing up day in and day out. But I was thinking to myself, okay, well, wait a second. If I want to have the number one mental health podcast on planet Earth, what will that entail? Who do I need to be? What do I need to execute against? What do I need to learn? How do I need to show up? What's next? And so part of the discipline is, you know, and I mentioned this the other day, now moving into a studio where we'll be doing some in-person recordings, which I'm very excited about. Doing more online recordings with people who I can learn from even more, that we can learn from even more, that the Unbroken Nation can learn from even more. It's how do you get discipline that you become good enough that those people want to come and be a part of this? And so my head's just deeply in that world right now. You know, even like the new book, Unbroken Man, one of the things that I want to tell you guys is, like, I recognize when I finished writing it that I'm not done yet. And I made a decision to write every single day until I complete it, as I believe that it needs to be done. Because when I sat and I read it, I thought to myself, this is really good, but it's not great. And I made a decision, become disciplined enough to write the book better. I'm literally going through it line by line by line, ad nauseum, to write the greatest book on men's mental health that has ever existed, because that became the measurement for me. I said, what do I need to do? And so I apologize because of the delay, but I made a choice that I believe is for the betterment of it. Because in the same way I'm looking at these disciplines and all these other areas, it's also about food and entertainment and the information I'm putting into my brain, how I'm showing up, how I'm connecting to people. And so ask yourself, if the discipline you've had in your life has got you to where you are, what is the discipline that you now need to deploy to get to where you want to go? And I promise you that it's going to be different than what you're doing now, because if what you were doing now was going to get you to where you wanted to go, you would already be there. That's the weird juxtaposition about this. And so as I step deeper into it, as I step deeper into running these businesses, coaching people, having the podcast, writing books, speaking on stages, and moving towards that mission of ending generational trauma in my lifetime, the question is, what do I need to do in terms of discipline to get there? So ask yourself this question, like, what do you need to do now? Now, look, it might literally be waking up at 6 a.m. It might be doing 20 minutes of personal development every day. It might be not eating junk food. It might be whatever that thing is. I don't know, because I don't know what you are seeking. But what I do know is, if you do not already have it, then it's time to activate the next level of discipline in your life. And it's not a bad word. It's not a scary word. It's actually an empowering word. It's a word that's going to bring you everything that you want next in your life if you're willing to execute. And so if you want one thing today that will change your life forever, it's to ask yourself, where do I need to be disciplined next? Unbroken Nation, thank you so much for listening. It means the world to me. Please like, subscribe, comment, share, tell a friend. And until next time, my friends, be unbroken. I'll see ya.